Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
Don't doubt me, bro. We're out here trying. We're out here trying to be better, okay, with the F word. And I think we're succeeding a little bit, but we're down to 4 tallies this week. I think if we have...
You put that sign up this week. We've done 4 episodes.
I know. We're down to an F word an episode. And look, we're trying. It's effort.
We're
all
good.
right?
Hey, you're good.
All you can ask for is effort. Welcome in. Look, hey, I've seen enough opinions. Okay, I've seen enough takes, myself included, about this Michigan stuff. I've seen and heard enough takes about the story, and I've moved on to seeking the opinions of those that matter. Okay, I think that's the best thing that we can do right now is go after and seek after the opinions from those who truly matter, not just opinion givers, but the ones who actually impact the sport, the ones who are most directly impacted by whether or not what's going on up at Michigan or what is accused of going on up at Michigan is actually indeed true, right? So who are those people? Those are football coaches. So what I did today was I reached out to nearly 24 football coaches, whether it be NFL representatives. Don't know any NFL head coaches yet. That would be cool. The one day I got one of those contacts in the phone book, that'll be dope. And you'll know, trust me, I'll be stunting that shit everywhere. The moment that happens, that'll be dope. But no, whether it be NFL representatives, Ohio State staffers to current high school head football coaches, right? Reached out to as many people as I could because I wanted to know. Okay, I wanted to know, what did they think about a program going to the length at which Michigan is being accused of going to steal signals? Now, I think it's very important we start this segment with a disclaimer. Okay, a disclaimer. What is the disclaimer? First of all, everyone in this sport, everyone tries to do some type of sign stealing. Okay, some type of signal stealing. Everyone has someone responsible for attempting to pick off signals. And sure, even if you know the play is coming, you still have to stop it. That is no doubt. There's no doubt about that. Even if you know something's coming, you have to be able to stop it. But I spoke to one source today. It's actually funny. I spoke to a source today that told me when they played Alabama one year, they knew absolutely everything. When Alabama was running this one specific play, they knew it because they had the signal tip during the game, and it didn't matter. Every single time they ran it, they still couldn't stop it. Now, I mean, we can laugh about that. It is true. It happens. I would say, come on now. We could do something. You know what I mean? We could do something to be a little bit better on that specific play. But nonetheless, even if you know the signs, and even if sign stealing isn't technically illegal, okay, going through these metrics that are Michigan is being accused of today or this past week is illegal, right? Here is the basis of the information that is being reported and alleged, all right? And here's what I set these coaches up with, right? Michigan hired an ex-Marine. Fact. The ex-Marine then had several other recruiting staffers attended future opponent games, okay, or attend a future opponent's games. That's alleged, and if that is true, that is illegal, all right? Potentially had them record signals of the opponents as well. Recording signals, illegal. With that data gathered, this is a fact, with that data gathered, the ex-Marine has been seen on the sideline standing next to the defensive coordinator with sheets of opponents' signals. Those are the facts that I presented dozens of coaches with today, and I think you would be relatively shocked to hear their surprises because I saw a lot of football heads out here being like, oh, sign stealing, we all do it. Everybody does it. Isn't that just scouting? Isn't that just doing your job? Yeah. Advanced scouting and sign stealing and trying to study TV copies and find advantages, that's standard ops. That is not at all what went on if you did any of the research on this topic, okay? So we texted a bunch today, and here were some of the responses I got. From an SEC staffer today, say, quote, I'm in shock. Former SEC staffer, quote, I'm in shock. If they had people going to games and filming, that's insane. It's worse than recruiting violations to me. It's, quote, a crime against the game. But they'll probably just heap it all on this one guy. right? They'll scapegoat this one guy, is what one former SEC staffer said. He went on, everyone in this game has some type of dirt on them, whether it's personal, recruiting violations, exceeding the 20-hour rule, stealing signs. Leave no doubt that nobody in college football is completely clean. That was his final point, and I'm in 100% agreement with that. I think one of our most famous quotes around this network, if you've been a lifer, is the game been broke. Or the game been broke. Y'all just ain't been aware of it, right? The game's been out here being crooked, and the game's been cheating for a long time. All right, and everybody's a little bit guilty. But that quote right there, it's a crime against the game. That's a lot of the feelings that we got today when we searched out thoughts on this. A Big Ten staffer sent me this today. Quote, people here in the Big Ten knew they had a guy who was ex-military on staff that stole signs. Everyone tries to do that in a TV copy or during the game. People just didn't know that they did it in an illegal way of in-person scouting. Having an entire book of signals by the other teams, it's clear they were doing illegal stuff. All right, was the final. Man, I'm not a very good reader, am I?
No, you're doing great, man. Keep
Doing
going.
all right. So that was a Big Ten staffer. So apparently everyone in the Big Ten kind of knew about this, and this was my other kind of fighting point that I had with some of these guys that were in my mentions today about, notice how quiet coaches are? Coaches ain't quiet, bro. They're the ones who ratted this out. There were coaches in the Big Ten, obviously, that knew about this, that were not happy about this, that snitched on this. You know what that tells me? This guy's breaking rules and going about doing this in ways that they're comfortable snitching on, knowing that they're clean. You know what I mean? Like if this were criminal activity that everybody were a part of, kind of like paying players or tampering in the portal, you know who wouldn't snitch? The coaches who are also doing this shit. So if everyone's sign stealing, then everybody would have let this pass. But this guy's obviously doing something that everybody ain't doing. This guy's doing it a little bit different. This guy's doing it a little bit creepier. This is from an Ohio State staffer that was on that staff last year and years past. Quote, we didn't suspect something was up every single play, but the 5 or 6 key plays that were the deciding factor, they had the, quote, perfect call that was against their tendencies. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, there's data behind all of this. When we're in 4th and short, you tend to play this coverage. When you're in goal line, you do this. When you're in the red zone, you call this play. You have a tendency to be this type of personnel package in this type of situation, right? There is data, particularly late in the season, of how you go about calling your plays. And when they go through the film study, particularly after the game, and they're breaking down the key critical moments of this football game, and you're breaking tendency, not once, but 5, 6, 7 times in critical moments of the football game, guess whose alarms start to go off in their head? The guys who you're beating. They get really, really upset when you start to go outside of your tendencies, and that was something the Ohio State coach noticed today when I spoke to him. Quote, this was far beyond anything given to you publicly. When you're sending a Marine to study video signals or video of my signals and you have charts of them, that's beyond the notion of what's right. That was the quote I got today. This was from an ACC staffer who, by the way, Clemson's been dragging into this for years because of Venables and all this, like going down into the histories of signal stealing. Venables is like the poster boy for this. Quote, next level. It's prevalent in this game, but that was next level. Sloppy execution with all the, quote, documenting ignorance. I love that. Documenting the ignorance with personal credit cards, etc. Does it win or lose football games? No, it helps run/pass more than anything. And that was that was the thing that I found appalling with this. Not that people didn't read. I don't expect you to read. I expect national analysts to read. I would hope they read before they give opinions. It's kind of important. And if you would have read it from the jump, you would have noticed that this wasn't your basic sign stealing. This was an in-depth cooperation, okay, with an ex-Marine at the helm of it. This was some super serious deviant behavior to go about stealing signs. This was not somebody in the booth with binoculars looking at the on-game calls. That was not what this was. This was deviant behavior. And if you did any reading, you would have found that. But what really, really bugged me today was when people were doing they got the signals. Well, you still got to line up and play ball. And I love Deion Sanders for college football. I think it's great. But Deion Sanders was quoted today saying, well, I mean, I could send my playbook to whoever I want. I could send my entire game plan to them. They still got to stop me. That's spoken like a real defensive player. Spoken like a real guy who played on the defensive side of the football. My whole daggum advantage as an offense is that you don't know what I'm doing. You know how I can debunk this entire theory? Michigan fans in my mentions talk about, oh, you still got to line up and play football. Freaking Dave Portnoy out here talking about Ohio State fans bitching when all they did was get manned. They got manned. They got handled by Michigan. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Explain play action to me. Why does play action work? Play action works because we put the ball in the belly of the back. The defense doesn't know whether it's run or whether it's pass. And then we take advantage of the fact that they don't know whether it's run or whether it's pass. Play action, one of the most successful acts in football offensively. Over time, over history. Do you know why it works? It works because the defense doesn't know whether it's run or whether it's pass. Now, let me tell you something. If it's 4th and 2, critical down in the football game, if I'm a defender and I know for a fact they're about to pass the football, don't you think I could take a little bit of an advantage off of that? I asked Jamon Dumas-Johnson today. He's the only player I've had availability to recently, and asked him, hey, man, if I told you defense, hey, defensive guy, they're about to run the ball, do you think that's an advantage? And he goes, oh my God, it's a huge advantage. No shit. It's cheating is what it is. It's cheating, ladies and gentlemen. And I got so frustrated watching this today. So frustrated. Because you know who thinks it's cheating? The coaches, who all these people think are also cheating. Yeah, they are. They're trying to steal signals when you're playing them. They're watching you. Watching your signals, and if you're not smart enough to change them up in between quarters, then yes, you are susceptible to having your shit stolen. But when some guy and some 3 recruiting staffers are buying tickets for the Ohio State-Georgia game and the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl while you're busy out there in the All-State Sugar Bowl or wherever the hell you were playing TCU, getting your brains beat in, and you got somebody watching us to steal our signals ahead of maybe potentially playing us, you're a cheater. That's what you are. And I have no bones about calling you a cheater for doing that. All right, and if I can't explain that to you, if that don't make no sense to you, then I don't know what to do. Amen, boys?
Amen.
He freaking man.
Amen. Solid rant right there, bro.
Welcome into tonight's show. We got a loaded one for you. Shouts out to our friends. Oh, hold on.
Wait. Did we?
Wait. We didn't forget anything. I want to play the guy who I think encapsulated this perfectly, okay? A guy who is the byproduct of this, okay? Someone who has been the victim of a thief, the victim of a cheater. Okay? James Franklin summed it up best today in how he noticed what I told you the Ohio State staffer noticed. Damn, they sure really are great in situational football. Play the clip, Jay Will.
Are we disguising it? I mean, what happens is you get to after games and you feel like you called a very unpredictable call in a situation, and they're in the perfect defense for it. And you're sitting there saying, well, how is that? What would ever make you play cover 2 on 4th and 1 and we're in a heavy personnel group? But they're in it and you got a shot called there. You know, those things kind of make you kind of second guess, and you kind of go back and look at those things and what you need to do to disguise it. And if it happens once, that's one thing, but if it happens over and over, then you're aware of it. So for us, that's something that we always are looking at, but obviously with some of the things that are going on right now, it magnifies it.
Some of the things going on right now. He also mentioned he wasn't going to talk about that other school that things are going on with, because obviously active NCAA investigation. Guys, this is far. I tried to, and I feel bad. I tweeted about this today. I feel bad for Michigan fans, because here's the deal. You know who's about to dip out? Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is going to get an NFL job. He's going to get a $50 million contract over 8 years, however much they're paying NFL coaches nowadays, and he's going to walk off, and he's going to leave your program with sanctions. And meanwhile, you look like a dumbass out here in my mentions defending a program who, by the way, I know you love, but that dude don't love you. The dude that just went through all of this to get this advantage that is going to be the reason that your program looks like what it looks like nowadays in the news that you're out here defending. Bro, he's about to leave you at the not even at the altar. He's about to leave you like Pete Carroll did with all the sanctions and just be like, not my problem. I'm going to the NFL. Like